All right, my man. State your name. Let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
D Strong on Real Talk.
With Nick. That's what's
With
up,
Nick.
baby. Nick fan.
Yeah, I'm a Knicks fan.
You're a Nick fan.
You can say I'm a Knicks fan.
You disappointed Nick fan.
Very disappointed Knicks fan.
All right, talk to me, man. When we speak of these Knicks today, what needs to be done so you can fully be on board, man, with these New York Knicks?
I think management needs to get their act together. All right. I think Leon Rose needs to stop hiding out, and let the fans know what's going on. I know everybody likes to blame Dolan,
right?
But Dolan spends that money. It's just that they don't spend that money right. For instance, you spend all that money for Jalen Brunson, but you don't want to give up draft choices for Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Draft choices are worth what? Nothing. Until they prove out, right?
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell is a proven superstar. Now, I can see Brunson, Mitchell, and Randle with Barrett. It's a team. What they got right now, they're going to make the playoffs. It's going to be one and done.
All right, so let's piggyback on Jalen Brunson. You don't think that was a good deal? I mean, he's doing damage. He's putting in work, man.
I think in hindsight, yeah. At the time, I didn't like it.
So he proved you wrong when they threw that money at him.
Yeah.
He showed you that he's worth it.
Yeah. He definitely proved out. Definitely proved me wrong on that one. But, like I said, they still blew it on the Mitchell deal.
Okay. So, when we speak of Donovan Mitchell, man, who would you have traded to acquire him? Would you have gotten rid of R.J. Barrett?
Yeah.
Explain why.
Yeah.
Explain why you would have traded Randle.
They both wing players, but Donovan Mitchell is a better wing player. Really, it's just swapping one out for the other. It's a matter of who you want. For me, I'd take Mitchell over Barrett any day of the week.
Okay, so what?
Randle's still going to be there.
Okay.
Right? So the only difference would have been Barrett.
Right.
So really what you're doing is trading Barrett for Mitchell.
All right. Let's talk about Barrett just for a second. Critics have spoken when we speak of R.J. Barrett, and some New Yorkers want him out. They say he hasn't panned out to be the player they thought he was going to be. Some say he's still young. He still got room to grow. Some say his role changed. That's why he's not having the season people expected him to have. Now, we're talking about a player who's still averaging somewhere between 18 to 20 points per game. I guess this year people expected an elevation in his game, somewhat near 30 points per game.
I think expectations on him may be a little too high. He's a good player, don't get me wrong.
So what's his strength? Let's start there.
I would say he's a good wing player.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I think he's underrated defensively. I think he's a lot better defensively than people give him credit for.
Why you say that? You seen some plays that make you say that?
Yeah.
Can you name some?
He hustles. I see the hustlers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not for lack of effort when he doesn't succeed on defense. It's not because he's out of position or anything like that. He's a decent defensive player because, it's really, we both know it's not much defense played in the NBA.
Right, I agree.
You know what I mean? But he's above average. He's average defensively,
Okay.
I think his shot is improving. I think he's improving as a player. I think he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. But I mean, if you can get better, then get better. But right now, he's good for them right now.
Okay, so you not screaming trade
Nah, not at all.
Trey RJ.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Not
Now,
at
when we
all.
speak of Julius Randle, man, who happens to be an all-star,
Yeah.
how you feel about that, man? This is the second time as an all-star. One time in the bubble, and now, we having a regular season, fans in the stadium. And
I've always, I'm gonna have to admit, I may be a little biased when it comes to Julius Randle, because I've always been a fan of Julius Randle, even when the Lakers drafted him that first year and he broke his leg and came back. Always been a big fan of Julius Randle. He's an all-star. He's a legit all-star. I know he had his problems last year, but the whole team had their problems last year.
So would it be fair to say that Julius Randle won the fans back when we speak of those in New York? Nick is all forgiven from Julius Randle putting his thumbs down?
I wouldn't say it's all forgiven, because you know how New York is. Until you do it on the big stage,
Right?
then he gonna have to produce come this playoffs this year. He get a pass.
All right, you get a pass.
Yeah, he get a pass.
And Jalen Brunson not being an all-star, is that an insult, man? Because
Yeah.
Randle's an all-star, Jalen
Yeah.
Brunson isn't.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna ask you.
He should be on the All-Star team this year.
You should.
No question. No doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Now I'm gonna ask you like I asked my other interviewees, man. Jalen Brunson is the best point guard since
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson? Okay. Okay. Some say Mark Jackson is a better point guard because he got others involved. Some say Jalen Brunson is a better point guard because he's a dominant scorer, where Mark Jackson wasn't. So I don't think there's a wrong answer, right or wrong answer.
No, not really. But you asked me.
Yeah, your opinion.
Since Jalen Brunson, I can't. Knicks hasn't really had great point guards in their history.
What? What about Michael Richardson?
I mean, like after Monroe and Frazier, yeah, Michael Ray and yeah.
What about Rob Strickland, man? What about Steph Marbury, man? I feel the Knicks had some sufficient point guards, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think at when they got Steph was like Marbury. He wasn't Marbury when he was here. He was Marbury when he was in Phoenix. He didn't seem to be Marbury when he was here in New York. And he had some good games. Don't get me wrong. Did his thing, but he wasn't the Marbury that was in Minnesota, say for instance.
He just didn't pan out how you would like him to pan out in New York.
I forgot about Rod. Yeah, Rod was a good point guard.
Okay. And we got Derrick Rose, man, who hasn't gotten any playing time this entire season. How you feel about that, man?
Can't stay healthy. This thing, Derrick Rose thing, has always been health. It's never been talent.
And who fault is that? You think that has something to do with the coach, Tom Thibodeau, running his players down? Some say the coach, when we speak of Tom Thibodeau, give his players too many minutes.
I don't know, because, Jimmy Butler didn't mind playing under him, Jimmy Butler always thrived under Thibodeau, in Chicago and in Minnesota. Jimmy Butler swears by Thibodeau. I think it was just Rose just not being able to stay healthy. I don't think it had anything to do with Thibodeau. because it's not like a lot of players around him are, are experiencing injuries. Like Barrett, Randle, none of them guys. He's been there for how many years now? 3-4 years now?
Mm-hmm.
And they've been healthy throughout.
Okay. And when I mentioned Treetop, my man Obi Toppin, man.
I like Obi.
You like Obi?
He played with his father.
Yeah?
I used to play. I played with his father. I like Obi.
Yeah?
Like his younger brother too.
You think Obi is not
I think Obi needs. He just needs the opportunity.
Some say he's not given the opportunity because we got Randle, who plays the same position, playing his ass off.
True.
So
True.
So is it safe to say that's hurting Obi Toppin's development? And if so,
no, I happen to think that it's helping Randle.
Of course it's helping Randle. He's on the floor. But Randle is a vet.
Yeah.
Obi is somewhat, he's a rookie, even though he's a little older than most rookies.
Yeah.
How is he going to get his talents off if Tom Thibodeau is favoring one power forward over the other?
I mean, there's only 5 positions. 5 starters. He's not one of them. He's still young. Obi, there's room for improvement with Obi. I don't think his game is going to stop where it's at now. You know what I mean? He just needs the opportunity.
Okay, so for Obi to get the opportunity, some say that Julius Randle might have to get traded in order for Obi to shine. Do you think that would be a smart move to do? Would you trade Randle?
I don't think it would be a smart move.
So you will risk losing Obi, who's a young talent, for a vet like Julius Randle.
Right now, yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Can you just explain why? You would rather lose Obi than to lose Julius Randle?
Because I get more value out of Randle right now. It's the only difference. Has nothing to do with Obi's talent. I think that I just think I get more value out of Randle right now. His skill set.
Okay. All right.
And I would hate to give Obi up though, but it's one of those moves you don't want to make, but it has to be made,
Okay. So you convinced Julius Randle want to be a Knick?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm convinced.
You don't think he's playing for personal stats?
That's a good question. That's a real good question. Because I don't see him as a selfish player.
What you see him as, man? Because some would differ. Some say he ISO the ball and he's a Carmelo Anthony 2.0. So what's your perception?
No, I wouldn't say he's a Carmelo 2.0. And then you gotta remember, that's the offense they ran for Melo, was the ISO. I think Randle feels that he has to carry the burden sometimes, and it causes him to force it, play out his element. I think if they had, say for instance, a Donovan Mitchell, because he's not a number one. See, this is the thing. Everybody wants Randle to be a number one, but we know he's not really a number one. It's more like a 2 or 3.
Well, some would say RJ Barry is the third option, being that you got the Batman and Robin duo between Jalen Brunson and Randle.
I agree. He's the third option. I agree.
Okay. And last but not least, brother, Mitchell Robinson, man.
I wouldn't trade him.
You wouldn't trade him?
No. He's one of my favorite one of my favorite Knicks.
Is it safe to say one of your favorite Knicks get hurt a little bit too often?
Yeah. Yeah, he's starting to be like Anthony Davis. You know?
So what should we do with that, man? I mean, what needs to be done, man, where he could see more of Mitch on the court?
I'm not really sure. Maybe it's nutrition. Some guys are just injury prone. You know, you gotta hope that he's not one of those guys because he's talented. You know, he's a good rebounder. You know, he protects the rim. Yeah, he's a piece to have.
It's a piece to have.
Yeah, he's a piece to have.
All right, my man. Listen, man, I want to thank you for coming on Real Talk with Nick.
Appreciate
Speaking with the OG.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we talking some Nick Chronicle shit. And that's what it is, man, in the heart of Harlem.
Knicks is New York, right?
That's what it is, baby.
That's what we're about.